Hi there, that's right, great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch back on the camera yet again one more time. I really am going to have to come up with a different introduction at some point, because I'm sure you've heard that one so much you must be getting really rather bored of it. Alright, now for those of you who haven't, looked up at the channel name, for those of you who haven't seen like the title of the video, on this particular YouTube channel I do tarot readings. Now I do this as a form of entertainment, I do this as a form of performance art, I do this for fun, enlightenment, to give you a different perspective. Some people do treat these readings in a very therapeutic manner, okay? And I'm openly saying, please do send me a private message in which you have a request, and yes, repeat inquiries are permitted, but too many repeat inquiries can be a bit over the top. There's one particular YouTube user who's more or less like private messaging me every couple of days and expecting that I will carry on doing readings for her in the tarot show. I'm not prepared to do that. I'm just not prepared to do that. Just don't get too obsessive with me, okay? Especially as this channel is getting a little more popular, the videos are getting a little more views, there's a lot more people who need to receive the love, alright? But without further ado, we'll get on with the first tarot reading of today. Bear with me a second, please. Okay, the first inquiry is someone whose YouTube channel name is Cherahera I think. And this is interesting, intriguing. This is someone who wants a reading done on work, just to see basically what's going on there. The very first thing that pops into my head is looking for it, trying to find something which is new, a sense of a desire for change, and a desire for something else to happen not too far down the line. Did you really want me to read upon work the way it is in the here and now, on your, interpersonal politics and dynamics, when essentially the way that I feel it already, even before I've laid down the cards, is that you're looking out for something new, you're looking for a new job? Could be. Let's just have a quick look, see what the reading says. Alright. Yeah, okay. Well, the signs surrounding you in the here and now, there's a strong sense of yearning, a strong feeling of instability, a sense, as you can see there, of a desire for more and more knowledge, and a sense of being in a much stronger position than you are now. It feels to me almost as if there's other people who are trying to hold you back and trying to create a feeling of instability. You can achieve much more than you've been able to in the past, but it's just a question of reaching the level whereby you can actually take control one more time. Now the other sensations I've got here, it's amazing you ask about work and we get quite so many signs of disorder, namely within the Earth suit coming through. The Nine of Coins there, talking about financial gain, which suggests that within a very short term future you're going to be moving up the ladder just ever so slightly. But of course in the here and now you got your instability as well. So the portent signs are pretty strong. There's a message in the reading that you yourself have got to really slog your guts out to get there, but you seem to be steering your life in the right direction. It's just a question of moving out of this almost depressive feeling of frustration that you're in at the moment. It's like one of those moments when you get caught in a trap and you can't quite think your way out of it, and you think, oh my god, I'm going to be here forever, and you can't think to yourself will I ever feel different to the way I'm feeling now? That's the kind of thing which is coming through to me. So it feels pretty negative for you in the here and now. But is there a sense of hope? Well, there's a sense of there being a bit of a land of milk and honey waiting on the other side. But you've got to just aspire to get there, and you've got to make it. What we've got here is essentially talking about your own character and your own nature, with an ability to overturn oppression. You're someone who can, although you don't realize it, you can get through this stage without the negativity, without the oppressive people, without all the lying, cheating, stealing, evil people who are around you. from getting to you, and you're going to carry on keeping focused on your goal with energy, drive, passion and determination, as explained within the Princess of Wands. This is when most of the reading is talking about, yeah, life is pretty dire at the moment, but there is still something else around the corner. And there's also a bit of a reflection upon your energy and your personality to say that you can overturn something pretty big here. Okay, well that's just the basic overview that this reading is giving me for this one particular subject today. So, let's see what else we can do for you guys this morning. Back in a moment. Okay, we've got someone called Jaden who would just like a general reading today. Now, I don't normally like doing general readings over video. I don't think it can help, because when someone asks for a general reading, they're not asking me to do a general reading. General readings, by their very nature, funnily enough, and this will surprise a lot of you, I know it will, can in fact be rather general. So if there is anything on your mind, and I mean anything, is it going to come out in the reading? No, not at all. You see, the way it appears is that humans have thousands and thousands of forms of thoughts and moods and all the rest of that, and there's millions of memories and millions of forms of, in inverted commas, energies which are floating around you all the time. How am I going to latch on to the right ones that you think are really important? People often come to me and say, okay, well, tell me something about me then. And I will tell them something about them, and I can be right. And then they'll turn around and say, yeah, well, you didn't say this, didn't say that, didn't say that. Well, if you wanted me to look in this, that, and that direction, I'd be happy to do that. But you didn't ask me about those things now, did you? This is why general readings can be bad. And I have had some people sending me messages, and they're not asking me any questions. And I find it difficult to answer questions if there isn't a question being asked. But once in a while, just to humour you, I will do you a general reading. So here we go. Standard Celtic Cross style reading. Okay, well, so the first thing we've got surrounding you in here and now. Signs surrounding your basic character. So, Jaden, you're a very thoughtful individual who's always searching for the truth. Your inner character feels a certain level of fragility. You're always looking out for answers which can provide you with the emotional stability that you need and you require. I see you as being quite studious to a certain degree. I don't think it's just because you want to get qualifications or you want to do some studying. But the feeling here is the fact that you're perpetually looking out for more forms of knowledge. There's also a sense of lack of satisfaction there, almost as if you haven't quite found either a definition for yourself or a particular path that you want to walk down. So there's still a bit of a searching for yourself kind of feeling coming through there, which is quite interesting in its own right. I mean, it looks to me like someone's tried to put you on the right path in the past, and that's maybe made you feel a bit happier and has given you a bit of healing. There's some really seriously bad stuff in the past. I'm not going to go into that. But when I say it's in the past, I mean it's in the past. Alright, it's not impacting the present or the future. Maybe there's still a feeling of, I really wish that hadn't happened. Okay, going on there. But there's also some very strong signs relating to healing or a better perspective and seeing life from a different angle. So you are going to be able to look back upon your life and actually try and reflect in a sane, balanced and healthy way, not just obsessively, okay? The fact that we've had signs of instability here means that there's still some emotional difficulty. Is that connected with the past? Very difficult to say. Will that be affecting the future? I don't think so. I mean, the signs for your anticipation of the future are driven by desire, but the signs relating to that, the colours relating to that, the whole feeling of that, is not at all connected to the energies of your history there. So this is a new feeling. I would say that in the short-term future, you're going to find something out which is actually going to be really rather good for you and is going to help you to bring yourself back on track in a much bigger, better way. Now, as far as things that you're aware of in the here and now, that's looking pretty sexy as well, okay? Because subconsciously trying to reach balance, not quite getting it, that's again to do with the signs we saw here earlier on. But that's not the most important part of this part of the reading. The most important part of this part of the reading is, of course, the star card, the wish card, the signs, which is essentially saying that what you're looking to get is going to be around the corner. You've got that sense of enthusiasm. Maybe because you've got the enthusiasm, you can work really hard with desire to try and bring about this feeling that your time is about to come. So, quite intriguing in many different ways, in many different levels. And the variety of meaning and energy that this is pointing out is also looking pretty hot too. So, I'm not seeing this part of the reading as being bad. But we still haven't moved on to the short-term, mid-term and long-term part of the future bit, have we? Short-term, mid-term, long-term and unexpected signs. Short-term future, making sure you keep the financial side of things balanced. But this is a 10 card. It's a 10 of coins, suggesting you'll be doing better than just looking after yourself and just surviving. Okay? The unexpected part of the future is providing you with extra strength and stability, as if maybe there's some kind of, a trust fund or something like that, which is going to provide you with extra knowledge you'll be able to survive in the longer term future. Your medium term future and your long term future are dominated by different energies. It's not the material world energies. It's more to do with people and difficulties you're going to have with people. A female energy, or a resentful energy I should say, from your past will be returning and causing a bit of grief. There's also a feeling of reaching out and dealing in a much more positive manner with a male individual who's got some affection for you and a desire to try and make your life better. Neither of these two are frightening me. You'd have thought that the resentful energy, the bitter energy in the future there would be really rather difficult. But I don't really feel that you'll be suffering all that much. I would say that you're going to be able to navigate this no matter what. So, now my question to you is precisely, why did you want me to do a general reading in the first place? What was it you wanted me to focus in on? Because that might have given you a good bit of perspective as to where you are in the here and now, but has it answered your question? Alright, let's move on to the next one of today. Just bear with me a second. Okay, we got a YouTube user inquirer called Bry Manning 1990 who's curious about the future and is curious about how things are going to go. So I'll just do a very short reading, just do a quick chronological spread covering the short-term, mid-term and long-term future, taking it one step at a time and basically seeing what we can achieve for you there. Just bear with me a second, please. The first impression I'm getting, which is more of a feeling than what I'm seeing in the cards, is that of supportiveness. There's something about your situation which you've already told me about in the private message, which leads me to feel that maybe you lose a lot of hope, you lose a lot of faith. There's a feeling of course, instability covering your life, and much more of a desire to basically be normal. Shit happens, okay, and there's other videos about which explains my personal history, which I'm not going to go into in this particular video, but all I will say is I seriously empathise with where you are at the moment. Okay. The way that the reading is going, stability and strength as a result of your own effort and making sure that you can keep other people interested in you. You're going to be able to employ sufficiently entertaining skills to be able to make other people happy. Your mid-term or slightly further on into the future signs, about 2 to 4 months, that's talking about a sense of desire to achieve a goal. You've got your own interpretation of where you want your future to go. Other people have got their own interpretation of where they think you should go or where they think you ought to go. But that's the wrong attitude. So you've got to be in control. When things are difficult, Sometimes you got to put your head in the clouds and not pay attention to things which are basically slowing you down and being harmful to you, okay? So you will find a way of doing that, maybe developing another obsession or another hobby which is going to help out. Okay, your longer term future signs. Again, despite the fact I shuffled the cards very thoroughly, we got some very similar signs coming through, so what the hell is happening there? Well, the main message is that of stability and progress. You may think very negatively about your situation at the moment, but maybe it's worthwhile building up a list of all the things you're actually grateful for, so that you can feel good about yourself. Some people say that if you develop a bit of gratitude towards life itself, it changes the way that you think about life. And that's something else to bear in mind as you move on into your future. There's nothing totally negative coming out in this particular reading. It's all about changes in perspective and how you're going to deploy those to bring about what you want, what you desire in the longer term future. Okay, we got a YouTube user inquirer called Damn Twisted, which I think is a wonderful channel name, okay? Comedy channel names always make me feel good, so that's absolutely wonderful. And Damn Twisted is inquiring about the way that university is going to go in September, alright? Now, I've been there once myself, I know what university's like. There is a feeling of anticipation and excitement and butterflies in your belly. There's a few things I would say before you go to university, okay? And that is, take the attitude that you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. And there'll be a whole broad spectrum of people in university, and they'll all have different ideas and different ways of doing things, and no, they won't all be there for the same reason. And that's something else you've got to bear in mind. Just work hard and keep focused. And do have fun by all means, but don't see having fun as being the be all and end all of everything, especially when you went there to work. Okay? Alright. Now let's have a quick look and see what the reading says. Bear with me a second. Very strong academic signs coming through indeed. I'm very strong about that and feel very good. Bit of a sense of, how shall I put this? Well, the signs of fun and recreation and a good quality society being around you is very strong. Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess, both powerful major arcana signs. Talking about being able to build yourself into a community. Now, you spoke of being shy in your private message towards me. I feel that's going to go. I really do. Also a sense of you actually being happiness. So obviously the cup signs, they often relate to love, they can often relate to happiness. And trying to keep everything in balance is a very serious thing. There's always distractions when you're in university, and you've got to realise that you went there for just the right reasons, and the right reasons are funnily enough to do the studying, okay? So do bear that in mind as well. As I said, we've got some very, very strong academic signs coming through, and this one here is the only one that concerns me, because it's talking about resentment to a certain degree, and resentment is something you've got to guard yourself against. It's more of like a defensive mentality that this card is talking about, and maybe that's to do with issues from the past or things which have happened with your family, with your parents maybe. You've got to put all of that behind you. If it was me who was sending you off to university, and I was, let's say, your father, what I personally would do is I would ask you to forgive me as your father for any wrongdoing I might have done towards you or about you or against you. And I would ask you to extend forgiveness to anyone in your family who had possibly been detrimental to you. I would ask you to learn how to stop being resentful about the past and just to focus on your future. And I would ask you to realise and learn that this is where life gets serious. And what's most important is that you do the next right thing for yourself now. Alright? I think it's going to be okay, and I see you doing really rather well. But don't let any bitterness or irritation or frustrations from the past affect your work and your ability to do well for yourself. Okay, JG Chick is back with an inquiry about a particular individual to see whether this individual has the capacity to actually regard her as a proper girlfriend, so that they can actually consider themselves to be, united as one, as proper boyfriend and proper girlfriend kind of thing with the passage of time, and whether that's progress, that quality of progress, is actually going to happen in accordance with her desires as well as his. So, you've already guessed it. We will do the traditional 8-card relationship reading and we'll take it from there. And bear with me a second, please. Okay, yeah, looking dark, looking frustrated, looking irritable. On his side of things, sense of interference. There's a certain sense of fear about the future, but knowledge that he sees you as a very stable factor in his life. The feelings that I'm getting is that he doesn't want to leave you, he doesn't want to lose you, but he's still got a few childish or youthful attitudes towards what relationships should be about, which is basically getting in the way big time, because he's got to just think beyond that, which of course he's not doing right now, but on the other hand I feel that he will. The signs on your side of things, it's a perfect expression. I mean, there's the passionate connection, and then there's also the sense of knowing what the next right thing to do is, but it's not quite happening for you. Okay, forces between the two of you, again, perfect expression of the energy there. There is some love there, there is a bond there, but it's also looking like there's struggle, there's strife, there's some communication, but it's not quite building to the right level, okay? So the longer term future, let's see how that's going to emerge. Okay, well, it's still starting off pretty bad. It really is still starting off pretty bad. I mean, not all tarot readings are pleasant. I'm not just paid to turn around to people and say things like, yes, and it's going to be alright, dear, okay? Because that's not what real life is all about. And a real tarot reading is about dealing with real life and having real life explained to you, basically in a pictorial manner, alright? So it's like, and then explain that back to yourself. So it's not always going to be happy, giggly, bubbly, and fun-loving. But your short-term future definitely isn't looking positive. There's a sense of there being some sadness there. There's a possibility that this could actually go through a trial separation or a trial split up. That's not feeling very happy at all. But there's still this feeling of communication. Why is there still communication? Because it's a swords sign. Sword signs and stave signs are associated with communication. So it's not talking about a complete and utter end to the relationship connection between yourself and him. Okay. Complete change in the energy, colors, thoughts, feelings, moods, and all the rest of it for your midterm and your longer term here. So why would we have signs of adjustment and balance for your midterm future? Probably because you're going to reach a time when this need for negativity is going to start ebbing away, and basically you're going to feel an awful lot better about yourself. So it might take a couple of months for him to basically pull his thumb out of his backside and start behaving properly towards you, and then things are starting to open up. Okay, the Art Major Arcana card, that's talking about a sense of blend. That's always very, very good when there is a relationship coming up, because when the boy energy blends with the girl energy, obviously it can be really rather pleasant stuff, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I'm not going to draw you a picture, okay? But that's in the longer term future for you. Yes, and of course, just to show the repeated motif, the Art card has a cup sign at the bottom there between the two wild animals. So maybe there's another connection there going on. I think it's talking about the nature of the energy of the relationship connection with the passage of time and how good it's going to be. But in order to get there, don't forget you've got to go through the shitty time first. Once you're through the shitty time, then you'll have the happy time. So one step at a time, and then yeah, everything's going to be like peace, tranquility, and something fun and raunchy as well later on down the line. So, is this relationship going to go hot and cold? I think you can probably expect it to. Is he going to stop loving you? No. Does he have the wrong attitude towards you and the wrong attitude towards relationships? Definitely. What's wrong with him? Tons of stuff. Alright, but that's basically what's going on there. It's going to be difficult. Take it one step at a time though. Alright? Okay, that's all I'm going to be doing for today's tarot show. Keep your inquiries coming in, but only, and this is very important, via the private message section of the YouTube user account Nick Dutch Tarot. Okay, I've had people sending me like requests on all kinds of different funny places and in the comment section and all the rest of it. Now I'm very happy for you to leave comments on my videos, yes. Whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, no matter what your what your little message is, but you don't leave reading requests in the comment section. That is so naughty, and I can't be having it really, because basically I haven't got all that much time. I need to work for a living as well as doing these videos, and I want to make sure that I can actually answer the requests to the best of my ability and keep everything basically in check. Alright, but do keep your requests coming in, because basically I like to see basically what's going on in your life. It keeps me connected with people who are, my clients, my customers, and people who I've dealt with in the past, and that gives me a good feeling as well. Okay, so rate, comment, subscribe, favourite and share. If you're watching this on blip.tv, add me to your playlist or go to channels.com and set up an account there, and you can subscribe to my show that way. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a yellow button or a grey button somewhere above my head that you can click upon, and that's going to give you the regular subscriptions and regular updates, so you'll be able to see all the shows which are coming out from me as well. Still not quite sure what I'm going to do for Halloween on this channel. Obviously on my main channel, my first channel, there'll be a few Halloweeny events happening there, but essentially I want to try and do something special for this channel as well. So any suggestions about that, don't forget to leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to have a look through that, and we'll basically take it from there. In the meantime, I will, as is traditional, bid you good fortune, God and or Goddess, and or none of the above bless. Great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch signing out for now, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.